What's going on, metalheads? This is Jamie, and this is the Blades and EDC channel. Thank you all so much for being here. If you're new, please subscribe and turn the notifications on so you get updated or get notified when I upload new videos. If you're already a sub, thank you very much. I really appreciate all you guys. I appreciate you if you're watching also. Please leave a like also. That helps the channel get seen by new people and helps it grow, and that's what we want to have happen in this community. We want it to keep growing the way it's growing. The more it grows, the better off it is for everyone. Today I have my review of the Kizer Mini Sheepdog. This is the ReyLight Special Edition. They're numbered. This is number 15 of 300. You can see there. And this one's an interesting knife. They originally released the Sheepdog with just a flipper, no hole, and then they released another version. This is from Kizer, not ReyLight Special Edition, but Kizer released it with just a flipper, no hole, for the regular Sheepdog and the Mini Sheepdog. Then they released a non-flipper version, just had a hole and no flipper for both models. Well, I found this one, and ReyLight also sells the full-size model, which I'm going to get also, and I actually already ordered it and got lost in the mail, so I don't know where it's at, but they're refunding it or resending it. I don't know, but they've been a pleasure to work with on it, to deal with. So but this one is very different because it has a removable flipper tab, and I think I prefer it without the flipper tab, and I'll show you why. When you go to close it, it catches your thumb, right? The flipper tab does, and where it catches your thumb with this mini version is right at where the detent break is. So you got to push it till you pinch your thumb to get it to pass that detent. And honestly, I don't use the flipper tab really. I'd rather, Spidey flick it. So I put it on here so you guys could see it for this review, but I'm going to take it back off because I prefer not to have a flipper on there. I think it's a much better knife. This is the good screw, by the way. Everybody loves a good screw, right? This thing will just spin for days. All right, so now when I go to close this knife, boom, fall shut. It is drop shut. I mean, I'm not helping it at all. No shake, nothing. Closes on its own. So good. Now I do have a disassembly video for this knife where I cleaned it up and put some KPL on it, and it did help the action. When I first got it, the detent was a little, it was stiff, right? When you went to flip this thing out, it was so bad that I took a flipper tab off immediately, but then I was having trouble Spidey flicking it because that detent was so stiff. So I put the flipper tab back in for a few days and flipped it, and it broke in beautifully. I mean, this thing, for such a little knife, such a lightweight blade, to drop shut like that, that's impressive. To me, that's impressive. I don't have many other knives this size that will do that. The only other one I have that will do that is actually another Kizer, the Kizer Urban Bowie. So I'll give you some specs on this guy real quick. This is a black wash blade, just so you know. And the difference, tell you something else real quick with this, is what ReyLight's done, other than the removable, can't speak today, flipper tab, is they put fragged micarta scales on there, and they are nice, man. Kizer does really good micarta, and what's happening with this fragged micarta is, micarta darkens as you touch it. Your oils from your skin get in it and makes it darker. It was all, see how it's lighter in the lower areas? It was all mostly that color when I got the knife, but from me holding it in my hand, the higher areas in the frag are getting dark and the lower areas are staying light, which makes it look fantastic. I love the way this knife looks. This black wash finish on the blade, it's held up really well. No scratching or anything. It's held up great, actually. And this is a little knife, but it doesn't feel like a little knife. And the other great thing about the removable flipper tab is not having that flipper tab on there. Now I can get grip up right there. You got a place to put your finger to where if this flipper tab was on there, you can't do that, right? I'm not going to screw it in, but you can't get up here on this like this. You're going to get your finger on that blade. It's not going to be comfortable. But without this flipper tab, it makes it seem like a larger knife. I've got medium size hands, medium to large size hands, and you see how much I'm getting on it, you know. And when you get up here, you can really control it, you know. It's great. It's great shape. I love the blade shape. I love the way it feels in my hand. Now that the flipper tab's off. With the flipper tab on it, I wouldn't want this knife. Now with the larger version, I may feel differently about it because it's going to have a bigger handle, and the flipper tab may not be in the way. But all right, let me give you some specs. The overall length of this knife is 5.77 inches. The blade length is 2.63 inches. Blade thickness is 110 thousandths. Handle length is 3.14 inches, and the weight is 3.17 ounces, which is a little less once you remove that tab. It's right at 3 ounces once you remove the flipper tab. Actually, let's check it with the flipper tab removed and see what it is. Pull out my ginormous scales here. That can't be right. I think my scales are off. Well, it's saying 2.5, 2.6 ounces, but that may not be accurate because I think I already weighed this before. Try it again here. Right, 2.4 ounces. Maybe it is. I know it feels very lightweight. Give you some size comparisons here. Really good comparison is the other Kizer that drops shut like that, the Kizer Urban Bowie, right? It's not even as drop shutty as that mini Sheepdog is. It's drop shutty, but I gotta wiggle it a little bit, as you can see. Give it a little shake. So these two are a very good comparison to each other. And like I said, this knife is a little knife, but it feels like a big knife. Let's pull out the QSP Penguin. That's one most people will have. It's quite a bit smaller than the Penguin, but it doesn't feel that small in your hand. That's the great thing about it. And how about the pair of 3? Here, let's flip these over so they lay flat. Put the clip side up. Here's the pair of 3. Quite a bit smaller than those. So I think most everybody knows these two knives, so that give you a good idea on the size. And I gotta say, I like it so much that I ordered the large version, the regular Sheepdog. So this action, it's just unbelievably good for such a little knife. See that? Look at that. And the grip, it feels really good in hand. Even with that, even if I don't get up on that finger choil, which it really isn't a finger choil, it just becomes one when you take that flipper tab off. I can still almost get all 4 fingers on it, but right here, put the middle finger right there. That's the sweet spot right there. You can get so much leverage holding it like that. I mean, you can push through cardboard like a dream with this knife. And it's a flat grind, so flat up to here where it flattens out where the hole is. And man, love it. It's 154 cm still, which it's great. I love 154 cm. I did a video about this knife, and review of this knife where I compared it to the budget version of the Penguin. This one has 154 cm. The budget version has D2. This 154 cm is great, and this is just as good. I don't know if they come from the same manufacturer, if Kizer and QSP both get their 154 cm from the same place or not, but it sharpens very similar to each other. It takes an edge very well, and it holds it very well. It holds an edge for a while. And this, is that a sheep's foot? Is that I guess it's a modified sheep's foot. It's not a Warncliffe because it's got a little curve. I'm gonna call it a sheep's foot blade. It is called the Sheepdog. So these blade shapes nowadays, they're mixing them all with each other, and it's hard to even tell what's what anymore. But this knife, I don't have anything bad to say about it, to be honest. The pocket clip works great. The thing looks great. The action is fantastic, and you can thumb flick it if you're good at that sort of thing. I'm not the best at getting my thumb in that hole. It's not the size of the hole, it's just the angle. You got it with it being smaller. For me to get my hand up high enough for my thumb, it's just an awkward feeling where it's just hard for me to get up there. I can do it, it just isn't as comfortable as this. That's the money shot right there. That's what this knife is meant to do, and it does it very well. and it only gets better the more you do it. So it's a great knife, really, really good knife. So I highly recommend it. I hope that I hope ReyLight does this with more knives. I love frag titanium. This is my only frag micarta knife, but I think I'm gonna get some more just because I love the way it patinas, to where the oils don't get down to the low parts and everything else gets darkened. It looks great, it feels great, and that's gonna do it, guys. That's my review. This is a great EDC knife right here. This is a perfect EDC knife. If you're cutting through cardboard and just stuff like that, regular daily tasks, you're not doing anything super crazy. I mean, you can get up here, pinch grip this thing, detail work. It's a great EDC knife. The perfect, size for most people, I would say. Unless you like large knives, because this is a little knife that feels large in your hand. That's the best thing I can say about this knife, is it feels much larger than it is, and it's great. If they still have them in stock, if you like it, I would get them, because like I said, these are a limited number. They're doing 300 of the mini and 300 of the regular, and I've already bought one of the mini, and apparently I've bought one of the regular, but they've shipped 2 at this point. So, and these ship out of California. And something else I want to bring up, you get it in about a week, and for some reason, I don't know if it's some laws or something, but these have to ship out of the United States. The knives do, through ReyLight, to where I ordered a flashlight from them, and it's shipped from China. So one day it'll get here eventually, I'm sure. But these knives actually ship out of California, so you'll get it quick. You won't be waiting, a month or more to get it. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys on the next one.